Boop, 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 boop. All right. Recording started. All right. Hold on. All right. I guess we can just start. Fuck it. We'll write down some type of intro later.
Yeah.
Uh, so the first thing I want to talk about, let's start off a little light. Did you hear about the Gorilla Glue lady?
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't know that you needed those kind of warning signs all over Gorilla Glue, but I guess it's this just a modern day Tide Pod challenge.
Yeah.
But I've heard several
It,
cases now. Actually,
yeah.
happening.
Actually, I have some examples, or I have one example right now. So thankfully, let me share this. I got the whole scoop over here. Let's see. Boom. There we are. All right. So thankfully, um, she ended up getting it removed.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Good news. It's just unfortunate that I had to get to that point.
I mean, so I don't know if you heard, but this doctor did it for free.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's in LA. She's in Louisiana,
Okay.
and it looks like he performed a $12,000 surgery for free, and got it taken care of. Flew her out to Beverly Hills. I'm pretty sure he paid for her ticket, because if that were me, that would be free marketing, which is
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, like you said, there's people like this guy over here
Hmm.
that decided it would be a good idea, and I'll let him speak for himself.
Let's see.
Did you hear what he said?
No, I didn't hear a thing. Well, what do you say?
Oh, hold on, wait, you can't hear? You should be able to hear the video.
No, I didn't get the audio.
Hold on, hold on. I think no, it should be able to play. I was hearing it when I tested it. But I didn't. Really, you can't hear it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, this amazing gentleman um, thought it would be. He thought she was lying. He thought she was, full of BS.
Okay.
So he decided that he was gonna put Gorilla Glue on the Solo cup, lick it, and then be able to lick it off his lips. Like the Gorilla Glue would not be able to be removed. I mean, that he could remove it easily.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
So
this brings a question to mind, and is at what point do people have to stop and think about, I guess, the consequences of their actions, in a sense of why are you doing it? The issue that I see is more and more people are being influenced by what they see on social media or on TikTok. So they go for it. They do something like this whole Gorilla Glue. I doubt that this lady that did the Gorilla Glue thing was the first victim to try this. I'm sure she saw it somewhere and decided, oh, it might be a good idea.
mhm.
Um, so the issue comes to mind is if you are allowing this thing to influence you to the point where you do something like this, is at some point you have to take responsibility for those actions rather than pointing at the TikToker that told you, or the social media, wherever you read that this would be a good idea. Um, it comes back to personal responsibility. Just like with the investing that's going on, I'm noticing more and more, contrary to what people thought Wall Street bets would become. It's now talk. There's a lot of talk. I'm not sure if you heard of the ETF that's coming up called Buzz. Buzz ETF is old. ETF that didn't really wasn't very popular. Large cap companies over $5 billion. Now it's starting to pick up, and one of the things that was mentioned in the ETF was that a lot of the traction is because they're very social based ETF. So things like Wall Street Bets, where they're talking about a list of companies that they want to pump up, or they want to bring to the front line of people's attention. Um, they they look into that. And reason why this is a big deal is because previous to this, if you looked at previous ETFs or any fund group funds, they weren't really affected by what happened with GameStop. They weren't affected by what happened with AMC. If you have a Vanguard and you look at your investment portfolio, you did not get affected whatsoever. And even a lot of technology-based ETFs weren't affected either. Um, but when you have an ETF like this, you could have potential effect for something like the Wall Street Bets to have an effect on the trajectory of the actual price of this ETF, or the fee, or so to speak.
See, I like that. Yeah. I didn't know we were gonna get into finance so quick. You totally ruined my punchline though.
Oh,
Because
my bad.
okay, we'll jump back in there, but I wanted to show you what he looked like after this. Okay, here's this is him, right?
Mhm.
And then this is him a few hours later.
Oh no.
That was
I
my
want.
punchline.
That doesn't look like Beverly Hills though. He didn't get the luck of the other lady.
So okay, so this kind of jumps into what you're talking about, the herd mentality of Wall Street Bets, right?
Mhm.
This is that herd mentality. So to summarize what happened to this guy, and then we can move on to serious topics. They're gonna have to eventually apparently trim off pieces of his lip because the solo cup is basically almost soldered on there with the Gorilla Glue. So they're gonna have to cut the cup, and then they're gonna have to trim off a few pieces apparently because this doctor didn't have the same stuff that the other doctor had for the girl's hair. So, plus the chemicals that the other doctor used for the girl's hair, probably not good to go into your mouth. So they would have to
But
probably use something to rip off some piece of his lip.
by the way, I just want to throw this out there. The Simpsons did predict this as well. I'm not
How?
sure you remember the episode where Bart Simpson glues the sink to his forehead or to his face,
Let me
and
see. Hold on. No, keep talking.
the doctor had to use sweat, got him to sweat in order to cause the glue to.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Like this right here.
Yeah, there it is. And I totally did not see this in a meme. It just came to my mind right now. I just thought about it.
uh,
Like, wait, I feel like this has happened before in The Simpsons, just like anything else.
that's so funny. But yeah, I guess this does kind of fall into that whole herd mentality because um, uh, like it's not just with this Buzz ETF, but so this week they went after what the what do you call it, the marijuana stocks,
Hmm.
right? And I'm opening up my Thinkorswim right now to show, but actually I don't have to do that. I can just
Yeah, I saw
so
Aurora. Aurora was finally starting to climb back up from its previous losses, and so did other companies. I actually I saw, I believe it's a Canadian company. The ticker is Hemp, HEMP. It might be a
yeah.
Canadian company.
So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your
Okay.
thing.
So this is a penny stock, pink sheets, very volatile. I don't recommend it. But the way I came across it was actually through Wall Street Bets. I was reading through the the group on Reddit, and someone mentioned, "Hey, hemp. just rose. I think they mentioned like 200%, and no one's talking about it. So I was like, whoa, okay, well let me look into this. First of all, I saw the price and I immediately wanted to walk away. But I said, you know what, for just for the fun of it, I'm gonna throw some money at it. So I threw $20 or something like that, just see what happens. Well, the price shot up to like I think it was like 2.4 at some point. I'm not sure if you could point at what its height was. Uh, but it was starting to climb back up, and then I was actually kind of getting confident. But of course, you can see this is the type of behavior that we start to see with these type of companies. Is you get a bit of a spike, and then it starts to adjust. It starts to do what the market normally is meant to do, and that's set the price point at what the company actually provides.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, I think it was 2.9 or was the highest. Yeah,
Yeah.
2.9 seems to be the highest. Um, and this is one of those that the volume is so low normally because no one really cares for something that's worth a penny,
Hmm.
unless you just want to throw, like you said, you just want to throw like $20 at it.
Yeah.
Um, but once people start throwing, like again, Wall Street bets 8 million people following that thread. Um, if every single one of them threw in $1, that would blow this stock up, right? But they just didn't. I'm saying attack, but I don't mean attack. Um, but it's on everything, like
Hmm.
SNDL, Sundial Growers. That's another Canadian one, right? Now, this is
Hmm.
one that I follow because I have liked the consistency of this stock, right? Very, and I'll explain why I like the consistency later. So normally it goes up into a spike and then it kind of just settles there. It goes into another spike and it was supposed to just settle around the 1 to 150, right? But then they started talking about it. It jumped
Hmm.
all the way up to I think no, this shows that, but I think it jumped all the way to like, yeah, $4 was the highest, right? But what people don't realize is a lot of people will get stuck up here and lose a bunch of money. Now they have to get stuck and either sell it or just hold it and wait for where'd you go?
Hold on, sorry, just something came
No,
up.
you're good.
Um,
So
yeah,
yeah, they either
I'm
have to
looking up.
sell, yeah, they either have to sell it or go for um, the long game and just hold it and kind of either trade covered calls or do something, but
Yeah,
to average the price down.
honestly,
Yep.
Mark Cuban mentioned even he mentioned a bit of it. I think you probably heard. He one of his childs was talking about it, and he said he told him he could invest in it, and his point of view wasn't so much showing support for what's going on. Of course, Mark Cuban. I disagree with him on some things, but with other things in terms of finance, the guy knows what he's doing, obviously. But he said this will be a good learning experience for some to learn in the beginning of their investment careers. Throw money in it, but expect to lose basically, because a lot of people when they get into the world of finance and investing in things in securities or real estate, they think short term. They think I want high. They think I want fast money. Um, uh, and they don't really think long term. They don't think, why am I putting my money into this particular company or security or piece of real estate? Um, they that attachment of it is gone. So something like Wall Street bets, which I'm sure to some it is I guess a big deal to them in particular, but to anyone that just wants to get in for the sake of getting in, I think it's a mistake because now you're just for the hype. You're putting your money, your hard-earned money, into something that's uncertain, something that you're not too sure whether or not you're going to get a return. And in a world where you currently have access to fractional sharing, it's a big mistake because you have access now to be able to purchase pieces of companies that you didn't have access to in the past. Amazon, Apple, Nvidia, large companies that in the past you look at the price of Amazon and you say, yeah, there's no way I'm going to have money for something like that. Well, now you have access to fractional shares, so you could put your hard-earned money in a company that you know is going to be a good investment for the long term. You know, the company's not going anywhere, so to speak, and you already know the company is very reputable as well.
Yeah, not only that, um, kind of like the conversation that I was having with you earlier this week, I got into options trading, and something that only gets taught by very few people in this industry, at least very few people that I've seen, uh, is covered calls. And most gurus, and
Hmm.
kind of what I want to get into after this, is there's people constantly going out there and selling you something. If you look at Wall Street bets, if you look at the history of Wall Street bets, for the most part, it's always been, hey, I'm going to make a stupid financial decision. And if I'm right, if I end up being right, I'm going to make millions of dollars. But most likely I'm wrong. And for the most part, they've all known that, like, they've all gone on that premise. I'm wrong. I might be wrong, and I'm going to still shoot my shot. And I think a lot of people that were not part of this Wall Street Bets forum, for the most part, jumped into it afterwards when they heard the hype. And now, all of a sudden, everyone is a fucking financial expert, because you
Hmm.
have people on TikTok, you have people on YouTube constantly just pushing out saying, hey, if you want to make money on the stock market, let me show you how. And my course is $800 normally, but because of everything that's going on, I'm going to just sell it for 500. And it's all stuff that you can find for free, right? Like this whole
Hmm.
covered call thing.
Yeah.
Let's use a company like let's use a company like Apple, because Apple will not make you money, because it's a company that for the most part moves in a um, steady line. And I'm pulling up the chart.
I'm here.
And if you look at it, no, you're good. I'm pulling up the chart. So if you look at it, right, Apple for the most part is pretty steady. This is 6 months. Let's look at a year. Okay, this was around the time, I think, when they were splitting. But for the most part, between 130 and today, 135. Right? Yeah, it goes up, it goes down, but you're not gonna make $1,000 on Apple in one day unless you have like a million shares,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
what people aren't being taught in this investment world is what what I think is the coolest thing ever. It's covered calls. And Apple is expensive. It's 135 now. But if you can afford to buy 100 shares, you can sell options on it, cover them at a specific price in the future, get a premium for that, and make some money while you're holding the stock. It's sort of like a weekly dividend. And I think that's something that's not being taught. Instead, we have people that are online that are constantly pushing a stupid course that is supposedly going to make you millions of dollars. And I think all of them are jumping on this Wall Street
Hmm.
Bets wagon.
Hmm. Yeah, it happens. You see it a lot with the real estate as well. You get a newbie getting into the real estate game, they get their license, sell three or four houses, and all of a sudden they're the real estate expert, and let me become your coach.
Yeah.
It's a The sad part is that for the people that are actually seeking education, to actually learn all this, which they can get for free, they don't need to pay anybody. They can get all the information they need on the internet for free these days. The sad part is that they basically get I mean, I guess they could get some sort of value out of what they pay for, but like I said, it's not something that you need to learn, that you need to pay for when it comes to this. And you don't know the kind of experienced person that's giving you that information. Also, with I know you mentioned covered calls and more technical investment. When I think about, even though they don't like to see themselves this way, the Wall Street bets, like not the people who are getting involved now, but the people that started Wall Street bets have a very similar. very similar model of investing as to for example, Ackman was billionaire hedge fund investor, and he's not very well known by common people. Common folk don't really know who this is. Um, Whereas then you have someone like there he is. Yeah. So then you have someone. Yeah, he's the one that made billions of dollars by shorting after telling the world after telling everybody that the world was ending. But then you have someone like Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, everybody knows who he is. He's you could be a common folk that's just putting money in your 401k, and you know who Warren Buffett is. He's a very well respected investor, and the reason why I look up to him is because he's more of a long term investor that looks at ownership of a company as a big deal. You put money into a company, I am now part owner of it. And before I put my money in, my hardworking money into that company, I want to know what it's doing, where it's going, what its values are, what its mission statement is. So that's more of a traditional way of investing. That's what I like to see. And then there's a more technical side where it's more like the ultimate side where you look at different ways to make money from a company now for your own personal good. Both aren't. There's nothing wrong with either. Both are good. One's just the way I like to see it, and then there's the other way of the way they trade or they invest.
Yeah, and I think what something that I've noticed. I mean, it's been around for a while, but I've noticed that because we've gotten older, we can start to see these things. And but I've noticed that people are taking advantage of the fact that you look at someone like Warren Buffett, $85 billion net worth, right? But then you have people that will say that are trying to push a course will say, well, it took Warren Buffett 60, 70 years to get to that point. And an average person that's in their early 20s, late teens, are like, I don't want to wait 60 years to be a billionaire. I want to be a billionaire in 5 years. Mm-hmm. So then you have people that sell courses that say, hey, I can show you how to be a millionaire in 2 years. Just follow my steps, buy my course, and I'll teach you how to do it, right? Like Amazon FBA people. Mm-hmm. And have you heard of Amazon FBAs?
No.
Okay, so I'm just pulling up Amazon FBA courses, right? And I'm gonna pull it up here. And
is that like where
it's like people are selling a course on how to sell things online, right? Yeah. And this kind of falls in the same circle as people that are teaching you a course on how to sell stocks or how to invest in the stock market. Amazon FBA, I've seen, is the most common way for these gurus, so-called, are selling ways on how to make money. And if you look at their videos, they always say like, hey, if you buy my course, I can teach you how to make $10,000-$15,000 every single month. And they post it consistently on, like, look at this guy. Like, watch this. You probably won't be able to hear it, but so the most common thing, it's they always say, like, I don't know who this guy is. It says free course, right? But this is the one thing that always bugs me. And people will say, oh, you're just you have a limiting belief. But hold on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Amazon FBAs, they basically teach you that if you go to a site like Alibaba, right? Alibaba is the Chinese version of Amazon, but sometimes they have products that are cheaper. You can even buy them from Walmart, but you don't necessarily have to buy them. You'll just see what they're priced at online. You'll take that picture that they have posted for it. You'll post it on Amazon or on Facebook or wherever, like eBay. post that same picture, same product description, and just mark up the price. So if people buy it from you, you go onto Amazon and then just ship it to them,
Hmm.
right? So you
Yeah.
and
So
that's go ahead.
basically, it never reaches your home. You don't have a facility for it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Which
You're.
there's nothing wrong with that approach. If you want to make a business out of it, you can go ahead and make a business out of it, right? You can
Hmm.
so you can basically just go out, start your own business and sell it. My issue with all of this is these people decide to start a course for it. And let me see if I can let's see if I can find someone. They decided to start a course. It's always the stupidest markdowns too. Money no man.
Hmm.
Uh, oh, this is a perfect example. Hold on. All right, can you see this?
Yeah. With the
Jesus.
ads.
So yeah, so this is what their dashboard. Oh my god, dude, really?
Well, it just goes to show how much they need your business.
Yeah. So this is how much money this is what they normally show. And
Hmm.
so my problem with Amazon FBA gurus is that what they charge you like $400 or higher. In some cases, they'll charge you like $2,000 to teach you how
Hmm.
to do this. But then when you ask them, show me your numbers, they never show you the numbers. They'll show you some bullshit like this, right? They're like, look, I made,
Hmm.
and this is what they say, I made $20,000 in sales in 1 month. In the month of February, I made $20,000 in sales, right? But
Hmm.
what's your profit? Where's the profit here? Do you see it?
Nope.
Exactly. So they're like they constantly harp on this number, but they'll never point out where the profit is, and that's what my issue is. Same with stock gurus.
Hmm. Yeah, because you could easily manipulate your portfolio, invest $10,000 at one point, the graph's gonna just shoot straight up in the air. Oh, look how
Yeah,
much money I have now. Um,
exactly.
and then yeah, like you said, when it comes to business ownership, you have expenses, you have overhead, you have now you have to pay royalties to Amazon, you have to pay taxes as well. So what's really your take home in comparison to what's because the issue is you manipulate your numbers to look nice, and then you get people that are actually working, and you get them to think that, well, I could just quit my job and I'll make double the amount of money by doing this, by paying this guy $400 and it looks easy, and then you move forward with it, and you end up losing because you don't see all the little things that they don't tell you about.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Yeah, so I mean, I might have gone on a rant there, but I'm just
Mhm.
not a big fan of any type of guru, whether it's stock market gurus or these Amazon gurus.
And just to change the course of conversation right now, going into I started looking a lot more into cryptocurrencies the last couple of
Yeah.
weeks, trying to understand them a little bit more. And cryptos have been looking pretty good for me, at least. And we're not talking about Dogecoin, we're talking about cryptocurrency in general. Um, so a couple of weeks ago, I threw money into Ethereum Classic. Um, I seem to have more preference towards Ethereum Classic than Ethereum or Ethereum 2.0. I
Hmm.
understand that Ethereum tends to have more, I guess, and again, I'm still learning about it, so it's just, about blockchains and all that. But I guess the cryptocurrency Ethereum tends to have more compatibility with Bitcoin, and that's one of the biggest things that people look at when they're investing in cryptocurrencies is compatibility with Bitcoin. So I think that's going to be like your overall. Bitcoin will probably be like an index towards how a cryptocurrency is going to manage in the long run. Um, so Ethereum Classic, though, major difference that I see is with the Ethereum Classic is that you are capped at how many coins there will be produced, just like Bitcoin is. And I tend to see that as a long-term gain when you have a cap on it, because that's one of the major reasons why people put value in these cryptocurrencies, is because it's not something that you can just put in a new code and create more of, just like dollars in the US. You could just print more money. The purpose of Bitcoin when it came out was to move away from that old system, and then they created a specific number of coins or tokens that will be released at, per year, that people can mine, and it creates a cap, and the supply and demand controls the value of it. Same with the Ethereum Classic, and you can see it's starting to gain a lot of traction, a lot of momentum, as and I believe that as more economic uncertainties begin to arise, and more people see uncertainties towards securities in the U.S. rather than move to foreign investments in China, they'll probably move towards cryptocurrencies instead as a form of investment to store their money on.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Another one that I put my money in that you might be able to pull up there is one called the Graph. I think it's like a Graph.
Is that a crypto, or is that a platform? Hear me?
No, you cut off a little bit.
I said, was that a crypto or is that a platform? The Graph.
I believe.
This?
Yeah, there it is. So it's serving as an index. So when I purchase it, they come off as coins. But the way I'm looking at it is, I'm basically, the way I see it is, it's as if I'm purchasing shares of an ETF almost that verifies different cryptocurrencies. So Graph is basically pinpointing certain cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and analyzing each one. There it is. All the information is right there.
So
It's all cross-verified.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so my question with this, because there's platforms where you buy cryptos, and
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of times they tell you when you buy a
this would not be
crypto.
one.
So this isn't something that you would buy a crypto in.
No, this is it's foreseen it. So on Coinbase, it's listed as a cryptocurrency in itself.
Mm-hmm. So this is just for information. It's
So
not.
I'm purchasing coins when I purchase it. Here we are, crypto Graph. Timing any investments hard. So it looks like it's like indexing blockchain data crypto. So with a market cap of 2.9 billion and a currency supply of 1.2 billion. So is in itself it's currency in itself, just like Bitcoin would be, but it's set up as an index like currency. Like I said,
So
this cryptocurrency thing just is opening Pandora's box to a whole new whirlwind of knowledge and a whole new idea of how to see currencies, because we're just scratching the surface here. It's when you start looking into blockchains and coding and all that, it gets very complex, but because we don't come across this on a day-to-day right now. But as we progress in the markets in the future, you're going to start seeing more and more talk about things like the Graph, things like Ethereum, just like you hear talks about Bitcoin right now. And when you start seeing companies like Tesla start saying things in the nature of, we're now going to accept Bitcoin for purchases, or they're buying out a lot of Bitcoin too, it's for a reason. It's because they start to see the realistic approach that this could very well be a new way of currency. once a government, a large power starts to see this as an accepted currency, you're going to see things like the Graphene Ethereum take off just as fast as Bitcoin, I believe.
Interesting. I probably have to look into the graph, because what scares me about sorry, I'm reading more stuff about it. What scares me about things like this is that there's so much. I understand the potential of crypto, right? I think that's eventually going to be the future for sure. But what scares me with things like this is that you got to be super careful and super skeptical when you see anything like this, because there's companies and there's people that whenever they see that a mass majority of the people do not understand a certain topic, they will find a way to manipulate whatever they're pushing into a way for them to benefit. So I'm gonna this from just the surface of it, it looks okay, but I've already seen two
That's the thing.
websites. Go ahead.
Like with any new coin that you start investigating in crypto, at surface level, you see innocence. It's like, okay, well, I could see there's a good nature behind it, but with good nature, there's always human nature. Someone had to create this in a certain way. And just like it could be created, it could also be taken down, it could be manipulated. We have seen in the past cryptocurrencies fall under the manipulation and had to be taken down from the index. Um, and just with that, you have that aspect as well. But then you also have to think about the legalities behind it too. For example, when will hedge funds begin to get deeply involved in certain cryptocurrencies? Will they be able to do so legally? Because the risk factor is so high, and there's no way to be able to invest in a cryptocurrency the way you do with the security. With a security, you can go in a courtroom and justify why you bought that company at a certain price. With a cryptocurrency, I really can't see you being able to go and justify why you purchased a cryptocurrency for a certain price. You know what I mean? Like, it's very skeptical, it's very volatile.
Yeah. Yeah. So just for anybody getting into it, I would just, because like
Do
just
your
looking
homework.
at, do your homework, because there's when it comes to making any type of money, there's no guarantee. And like I saw someone post this one like 2 weeks ago. I think I sent it to you. Socks, socks.
Stocks? No.
Yes, socks, not stocks, socks. Socks. Purchase.
Hold on.
No. Let's see. Crypto. What's crypto? Unisocks. That's what it was. The Unisocks exchange. And let me pull it up. So here's the Unisocks exchange. If you want to buy one thing of Unisocks, it's apparently 35,000, right? And there's apparently only 315 available. So this one guy started this thing, sort of like when the crypto thing started going, and I'm super skeptical about this, because the way they market it, it's, hey, if you buy this sock, it's the only sock that you can purchase. Like, so if I buy this one, it'll be 22 or 21 out of 315, right? So there will not be any more made, which I get, but what's the benefit of having this sock? Who can I send this sock? Can I sell it to you?
That's a problem. Is utility goes out the window. See, for example, the value of an ETF, the value, because that's the way I see some of these things. I see them as an index too. You could see, for example, a cryptocurrency index arise where they come up with top 10 or top 50 most lucrative cryptocurrencies and use that as an index to see where cryptocurrencies are going as a whole. This is like you do with the S&P or the Nasdaq. But the it goes back to what you're saying. You have no value like you do, for example, a share of a Spider ETF, where that holds some sort of certified value. If you wanted to use that to purchase a house, you can use securities to purchase a house, or you can sell it at face value and get a return quickly. With a index of the sort for cryptocurrencies, you could purchase, I guess, they could come up with ETFs for coins, but like I said, it's not, you can't justify a purchase like that. I just can't see that, as an investment entity. It's not like an independent investor. If you wanted to buy Bitcoin, by all means, go for it. But if I'm giving you money to invest for me, you have a legal obligation to invest you have a legal obligation to invest on something that you have good reason to purchase. And there's no good reason right now to purchase things like cryptocurrencies.
Yeah. And plus, when you give someone money, like if I gave you money to invest for me, I would want you to be a fiduciary. Like I wouldn't want you to be just some random guy on a website that says, "Hey, I can make you money." So yeah, just come work for
That's the term I was looking
here's
for.
my money. Yeah. So I would want people to be fiduciaries,
just like real estate.
Yeah.
Real estate is no different. If I hire you to sell my house, I'm gonna assume that you're gonna do the utmost good by me to make sure you get the best value for my house, and you're a professional. You're not gonna be a skeptic or try to cheat me in any way for your own greater good.
Exactly. And if you go to a bank, there's two types of people. There's a financial advisor and there's a fiduciary, right? And if you go in there and say, "Hey, I have $500,000. I want to know how to invest it," they're going to say, "Okay, well, here's our financial advisor." You want to ask them, because every fiduciary can be a financial advisor, but not every financial advisor can be a fiduciary. They have to go for a specific license to go for that. And they are legally bound, just like a lawyer, just like a real estate agent, legally bound to do what's in your best interest. If you give a financial advisor that's not a fiduciary your money, $500,000, they can invest it however they want because you've given them permission to do that. And now they can go out and make so many trades that the commissions on those trades, you're going to owe the bank so much money and you're going to come out negative. So they can legally do that. Like you have no say. You gave them the money, you trusted them for it. So there's all that stuff. So when it comes to any type of, investing for you, crypto investing or anything, make sure that someone's a fiduciary. And, like going back to the YouTube thing, everybody on YouTube is now all of a sudden a financial advisor, right? And they'll say, "Oh, this is just my opinion." But if you have 500,000 or 1 million followers online and you're saying, "Hey, I'm investing $200,000 on this stock," what do you think your million and so followers are going to do? Right? Even if you say, "I'm not a fiduciary," even if you say, "I'm not a financial advisor, this is just my opinion," well, you have to understand the repercussions of the words you are saying. And
it's a consequence of being an influencer.
Yeah, and I think I don't think there needs to be regulation towards influencers. I just think there does need to be repercussions, because it's not safe for most people. And
exactly.
I stroll through YouTube and I see a bunch of people live streaming and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna look at the stock market," and in their feed. Now, these people are people that have not been financial advisors, have not been in the stock market for more than 3 years, and they're going through all of this, and they're like showing off their portfolio of $200,000, and for some reason, people that are watching them think $200,000 validates them being, wise enough to follow, right? And so you look at their comment section, and every single one of them is saying, "Hey, what do you think about this stock? Hey, what do you think about this stock?" Like trying to get someone's opinion. What's a good buy price for this stock? What's a good sell price for this stock? I just think there needs
They're
to be more.
trying to reach out for that assistance.
Yeah, but it's like that's all information that you can learn on your own by picking up a book.
Uh, hold on.
What?
I keep getting a call from Brianna. I apologize. All right,
Yeah,
go
you're
for it.
good. No, I was just saying, like, this is all information that you can pick up on your own and just learn everything that you have to learn and then
Mm-hmm.
do it and make the mistakes that you have to make because you're going to make mistakes when it comes to investing. Just
Yeah,
don't pay someone,
absolutely.
don't make the mistake of paying someone $2,000 to teach you how to hit a buy or sell button.
Exactly, because that itself is gonna be a mistake you're gonna have to learn.
Yeah.
That's gonna be one of the mistakes you're gonna make in your investment career. It's I mean, there's no problem with learning from other people's mistakes. I get that, but you can learn from other people's mistakes for free. You don't have to pay for that.
Yeah, exactly. And like don't listen to us if you're watching this and think that we're freaking oracles or preaching some type of gospel. Like we just have our own
Mhm.
opinions, but just
And we're
I
ranting.
just want yeah, ranting. Like I just want people to be safe when it comes to anything, whether it's personal growth. Like the newest I guess clapback or rebuttal to everyone saying, "Hey, watch out for these sales gurus." It apparently is like, let's pretend you're a sales guru. So the new way for you to talk back to me, if I tell people, "Hey, watch out for this guy because he could potentially not have your best interest in heart," right? Because you're over there selling a course saying, "Hey, let me teach you how to make $500,000. Look at my bank account. I have $2 million." That doesn't mean that you're worthy of
Hmm.
people's money.
Hmm.
Because the $2 million could have come from people wanting to know how you did it, right? And they
Yeah.
pay you money and then your money grows. It's a self what do you call it? Self prophecy,
I guess
self-proclaimed prophecy.
in essence, they're using what's on their portfolio as a form of handling an objection.
No,
Your
well,
objection.
the newest objection isn't look at my bank account, right? The newest objection is, hey, don't listen to that guy because he just has limiting beliefs. He
Hmm.
will never be rich because he's just out here trying to tell you not to better yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I'm all for people going out there and making a good life for themselves. I'm all for if you
Hmm.
say, "Hey, I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I hit 30, I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I hit 40." Go for it. But understand that you're not going to be a millionaire by paying people to tell you how to be a millionaire. Like you just
Yeah.
have to understand what people have done. Like one of the biggest tropes is, hey, if you want to be a billionaire or a millionaire, look at what Warren Buffett does. Look at what Bill Gates does. And you're paying these people to tell you to look at what Warren Buffett does. Like, why would I pay you to tell me to look at someone
Hmm.
else? You know, like, oh, Bill Gates wakes
Exactly.
up at 6 in the morning every day. Oh, that means you should wake up at 6. Well, why doesn't Bill Gates tell me that?
Yeah.
Right? Why
Everybody's
why are
different.
you telling me that?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, dude.
Rantings of a madman.
I'm gonna have to call it a day today. I have to go run real quick, make a errand.
All
But
right. It's all good.
we'll continue this conversation. I think we should do a midday approach, maybe like on Wednesday, um, like around noon. We should do like a little market recap as to what's going on between Monday when the market starts to Wednesday, like mid market.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of talk there because I like doing it. I like once a week, but at the same time, I feel that maybe if we do like a mid, like maybe
Your
what we
microphone
should
cut
listen
off.
to.
Your
Sorry,
your microphone cut off.
can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
All right, yeah, like maybe like little. 15-minute powwow as to like what's going on so far, what's the market looking like. I mean, it's not gonna be 15 minutes. I mean, we're probably gonna talk for like 30 minutes to an hour, but we'll cut it to 15 minutes of the most important stuff.
Yeah, for sure. You just tell me the time and we'll set it up.
All right, dude. Sounds good. I'll talk to you
All right.
later then. Bye.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.